So I'm already excited about people building lending around UPI. So what if you replace a bank? So today to link a U to pay to someone, you need to have a bank behind. Now what if instead of that bank, there's a lender behind? Now that lender could be any NBFC, any bank, which today ascertains the credit worthiness of a user real time, and can allow users to make a transaction without debiting their account, right? So there are already startups which I'm aware of who are working on this, where they are seeing, okay, UPI merchant network is already set up. There are millions of QRs already there. Now, one way to give credit is give personal loans, where you cash out into your bank account. The second big category is consumer loans, where you give credit against certain specific purchases, right? Depending on the, like I said, the credit worthiness of a consumer. Now you walk into Chroma and you want to buy a 42-inch TV, which is 25,000 bucks, and you only have about 15,000 rupees in your bank account. Now today, end consumer doesn't get any overdraft from a bank, right? So there's no concept of an OD, right? There's no they get a personal loan which they cash out, which goes into the account, which they can spend. Now if, let's say, banks were to give you on the fly overdraft to let you buy their TV, and then later on, when you have the money, you either pay them the EMI, or you actually clear off the entire outstanding. Things like those would enable the second level of adoption of UPI, where I will be, because we all know that everyone needs credit, right? It could be for my personal needs, it could be for my business needs, it could be for my momentary transfer, or for my immediate I need to give money to someone which I'm expecting in 2 to 3 days. Now these are the new use cases which will unlock the moment the credit is made available on UPI, right? And this will also allow not just banks but also NBFCs to come into the UPI play, right? Where NBFC can ascertain based on it could be as simple as once we have account aggregators infra fully in place, based on my account statement or other financial instruments, uh, they can give me a micro credit card, right? uh, when I say micro credit card, it would be 1,000 bucks, 2,000 bucks, which I can spend every month on a kirana store near me, right? And then I can settle it at the end of the month, exactly like credit card, but it's a micro credit card which works on a UPI network. So I'm particularly excited about this product, and I'm happy that there are a few startups who are working on it. A couple of startups I know. In fact, one person who used to work very closely with me. He's building an alternative to UPI ID, saying while UPI ID never took off, uh, for whatever reasons, I think most of the TPAs, they were not very proactively showing the UPI IDs, because they wanted to keep the user within their app. So this person, this startup is looking at saying, okay, while UPI, which is actually an interoperable platform, doesn't feel like one. Now I'll give you one example, anecdotal, but I was like surprised that this happened. So yesterday I ran a Twitter campaign where it was an experiment where I asked people to send money to me on my UPI ID. Okay. And any money, could be 1 rupee or whatever. So the handle I gave was at Paytm handle. It's my UPI handle. Uh, of 70 incoming requests before I deleted the tweet, because a lot of money was coming in. Of the 70 that came in, almost 50 plus were at Paytm handle. There are a lot of people who pinged me saying, can you give me your GPay handle or a phone pay ID? So people are not even, they thought that if it is at Paytm, money has to come from Paytm. And if it is at YBL, they would assume that money will come from PhonePe, and that is a small little failure of I would say NPCI. They could push these TPS to adopt those interoperable standards, those standard guidelines around branding of UPI, educating users that technically any app to any app can be possible. So that is something which we are sitting in 2020, and these are people who are on Twitter. These are savvy users, alpha users. Even they didn't know that something like this exists, because it's not in the TPA's interest to reveal the UPI ID. Now, if you look at WhatsApp UPI ID, first of all, it's a treasure hunt to find where the UPI ID is. Even if you find one, it's a very complex one. You can't even remember it. So I think that's where some innovation, maybe someone can solve this problem by building a layer which actually brings the interoperable nature of UPI up, right? So these are the kind of products which, and plus one product which is pending for long, though has been announced, and few banks are already on it, are e-mandate, right? There are a lot of use cases, like for example, why do I need to open an app to pay my bills, right? Why do I need to open an app to when I finish my Uber ride? The e-mandate is something which, while as a product now is available, but few banks are still not live on it. So I would like to see that becoming mainstream, where a lot of my UPI transactions happen without me opening my app.
Opening
A
an
lot
app.
of my subscriptions getting renewed without me opening my app, right? So those are products which I'm hoping that next new